Take a look at this tweet from David Spade, one of the biggest celebrities in the world right now. You may know him from Joe Dirt or one of his other shows or movies. He says, I wonder if Elon Musk on SNL will be a 90-minute infomercial for Dogecoin, buying as we speak. Now that's an awesome endorsement. It's pretty dang incredible. Elon even responding with 2 laughing emojis. You can't get better than that. Or can you? What if we're going to see a Dogecoin skit so amazing, so incredible that it takes the internet by storm? That's obviously what we want. And I'm not selling a single of my Doge on the actual day because of the upside, because of the potential. That said, we do have to talk about the elephant in the room. And I'm actually going to change it right now. So it's normally called the elephant in the room, but you know what? I want to change it to the mosquito in the room because I'm very, very upset with mosquitoes right now. They buzz around, they go and they get you. I was outside for a short period of time and I got gotten by like 5 mosquitoes. So mosquitoes, get roasted right now. It is time to get destroyed. All you do is buzz around, mosquitoes. You don't contribute anything to society. What is one thing mosquitoes do that's actually productive? Nothing. Absolutely nothing. So Urban Dictionary, Normal Dictionary, everyone get your act together. We're changing it to mosquitoes now. The mosquito in the room is that Dogecoin may actually go through a little bit of a dip or even potentially a crash. Those are what some of the rumors are saying. I'm going to kind of talk through that. What can we expect from the actual SNL day? Will it go up or will it go down? And there could be a little bit of a surprise thrown in there because what we're seeing with the chart right now of Dogecoin is a little bit weird. Let me go ahead and pull this up. So we have seen Dogecoin already. This is where it starts to get multi-layered. We have the skit. It's very, very, very soon. It's only 2 days away before we actually see the skit. There's Friday, it'll go through, then Saturday is going to be the day. And Elon Musk coming on as well. He came on, he did a little bit of an intro for it, basically teasing his unpredictability, being pretty chill. He went up with Miley Cyrus and they were talking about the show, trying to do a bit of a teaser for it, I guess you could call it. So they did that, they did the teaser. We do know it's going to have a lot of people watching. Here's what the Dogecoin price has been doing though. As we look at the 30-minute chart here, you can see. So Dogecoin, we've seen a bit of a pullback. It was as high as around that 70 cents area, now down to 55, approximately 545 right there. And so what we've seen already, a lot of the drop after that high has already happened. So the chances of it actually crashing big time are significantly smaller now, but there has still been a lot of hype around it. Now there's 2 factors to this. The first one is how much of the spike was actually caused by the Elon Musk SNL skit and the rumors around it, and how much of the spike was caused by other stuff. And the second factor is, what are people going to decide to do on the day when the SNL skit happens? How is it going to be? And so we have to look at both those to try to determine if it's going to go down or up. I would say based on this, a lot of people know that on the day a spike is supposed to happen, we all know. This is the #1 Dogecoin channel in the world. We have more viewers than any other Dogecoin influencer in the entire world. So most people who are getting their information on this are probably getting it here. And we've been saying regularly here on the show that Dogecoin, any cryptocurrency, if a spike is supposed to happen, it's likely going to go down on that day. And so with that being said, now people are starting to catch on. So if people know you're supposed to sell ahead of time, well, what if a lot of this drop that's supposed to happen on the day, which isn't supposed to happen on the day, so now we're getting into double layers here. It was supposed to be a spike on the day, which means it's supposed to be a drop, but because it's supposed to be a drop, people know that it's supposed to happen ahead of time, which means the drop of the drop is going to happen before the drop, after the spike is supposed to happen, before the spike is supposed to happen, when the drop is supposed to be there in the first place, after the first drop, on the second drop, before the spike. If you followed that. No, it's not really that complicated. I was just having fun with that, But yeah, so basically I think a lot of people are looking at this and saying, okay, well, I don't want to wait till Friday or Saturday when it may drop some. I want to go ahead and sell a little bit now. And we haven't seen it falling that much, which is, I think, a really, really good sign. We do know as well that a lot of these people who are going to see the SNL skit, whether it's 10, 20, 30, 40 million people even potentially, on YouTube, up to 100 million total people seeing it. We do know that from that, a lot of things that are going to happen are going to be positive around 4 to 7 days. People are going to make accounts on Robinhood. People are going to make accounts on Webull, on other exchanges for the first time, wanting to invest in Dogecoin after seeing a skit, most likely. So I expect we may see a bit of a drop leading up to Saturday. On Saturday, it may not really do much because we could see that ahead of time. If it does drop, then that would likely be because the skit was just bad or something along those lines. So here's some good insight. The scoop. You came to the Matt Ross Final Stand ice cream shop. I hooked you up with a scoop of Elon Musk, a scoop of SNL. If you want to press like on this so we can help get the message out, we want to make sure everyone knows what to expect on the day of the SNL skit. Let me also read a couple of these chats here real quick because we got some chats coming in and I think I may have accidentally missed one. but that's okay. We'll get to most of them. Doge rise is inevitable. I agree with that. And so I do want to be very clear. One of the reasons I'm not selling my Dogecoin, even though there's a possible little bit of a downfall, maybe a little bit of a big downfall. We'll have to see, because the way it could be a big downfall, if there's actually hardly any mention of Dogecoin at all on the SNL skit, if we don't see anything like that, then Dogecoin will likely go down a decent amount, which is very unlikely, because we know Elon Musk has been teasing it. We know it's likely going to be something. So the most predictable thing that we could possibly expect is for it to stay around that same area on the day, then 5 to 7 days after. But beyond that, I'm still extremely confident that Dogecoin is going to be the future cryptocurrency of Earth. I'm still extremely confident that when it actually goes toe-to-toe against other currencies, community-wise, functionality-wise, the ability for it to have low transaction fees, especially in comparison to some of the other top cryptos, that's where it starts to shine. That's where you start to see Dogecoin really come up and go above and beyond there. And that's why it still has this place at the top. Right now, number 4 in the entire world. It's going to be most likely number 1 at some point, regardless of what happens specifically on Saturday. The long-term future is so bright. So make sure you're going down there, smash the like button, hit it one time, because we want to make sure this message is getting out to everyone. Matt, one thing I believe we need to keep an open mind about with these new investors being brought into Doge is all this publicity. We will see dips from the new wave of panic sellers. And you're right. Just like we saw dips at 8 cents down to 3 cents, just like we saw dips at 45 cents down to 15 cents. We've seen big dips along the way. And when dips happen, oftentimes, not just with Dogecoin, but with cryptocurrency in general, you will likely see if it goes to a high, it has the ability to do so, and therefore most likely will at some point in the future go to that high again. And so if you're holding your Dogecoin even through the drops, then you have diamond hands, and that is your highest chance of seeing long-term gains throughout the entire course of Dogecoin. Diamonds are forged under extreme pressure, just like our diamond hands from Jack Mack. You're right. Holding 128K from 0.04 till I'm a multi-millionaire. From Sell Angel, I like the sound of that. Multi-millionaires is what we want to be. We do know that Dogecoin right now has the potential to make significantly more people. Approximately 2,000 to 3,000 people right now are millionaires from Dogecoin. Way more will happen into the future. We're going to see a lot of people becoming millionaires from cryptocurrency. So many opportunities still left, and Dogecoin is, of course, one of the best ones based on the numbers we're seeing right now. It looks like it's going to be one of the best ones. Buy the dip from John Slingshot-ish from Dogecoin Daddy, hashtag Dogecoin Daddy from John Peters. I like the sound of that. Can you help us read the chat, the chart? What patterns do we see? Yes, we'll look at that in 1 second here. Flexa has accepted Doge, 41 stores. Oh, that's pretty good. Is SafeMoon worth trying? I'm not going to be doing it personally, but if you want to, you're welcome to do so, right? You can make that decision for yourself. I'm not going to talk about too much right here because we want to get to the Dogecoin stuff, but maybe later in the show we'll talk about it a little bit. So as we're looking at the chart, you can kind of see a little bit of a downtrend, right? We've seen steady downtrend. It hasn't been any kind of crazy crash or anything like that. That said, though, if you actually zoom in, let's go and look at the minute chart here. What is Dogecoin doing very, very, very recently in the minute chart? We are seeing a bit of a strange pattern form. Let me go to the minute chart, not that. There we go. So in the minute chart, you can start to see this strange pattern with Dogecoin forming, where a lot of these lows are actually getting outlowed by the lows that come right after them, meaning that we'll see a little bit of a low, then the next low will be slightly higher, even though Dogecoin's still dipping. So Dogecoin's dipping, and yet the very bottom of each dip is actually going higher, which is a pattern you don't often see, and it is a positive sign overall, because that's one of the strongest buy signals from what I've seen in the past when we're looking at cryptos, and we've done very, very well predicting cryptos. 25 times the market, not including Dogecoin. Including Dogecoin, we've done like 75 times the market with our Crypto of the Week picks for the Patreon. So we've been really successful with that. Looking at the charts. And see, this you can kind of get an idea of what I mean by this. See, so this is kind of what it's doing. So even though we've seen overall a downtrend with Dogecoin, look, you can see the bottom is starting to go up a little bit even. And so it's kind of this weird pattern that you don't often see in cryptocurrency. And I like looking at it. I want to see good things happen with Dogecoin. Dogecoin is now top 5 and stays in the top 10. How can every platform not have Dogecoin? I agree. Every platform, Coinbase, you're next. We're looking at you. We want you to go ahead and add it as soon as possible. Matt, how soon do you think Coinbase will add it? It could potentially be a few more months. I'm hoping it'll happen faster. We've already seen so many exchanges adding it ahead of them. Webull, Gemini, all over the place. Big exchanges that are adding it before them, and Coinbase need to get their act together. What's taking so long, Coinbase? Why are you waiting? Keep up the good work, Matt. Made 38K, bought a bunch, dumped more, still up close to 20K. Get you some BTT as well from Justin. I do like BTT. If you don't have any BTT, you may be missing out a little bit right there. I think it has potential. It really does. Do you think investing is good long term? Alexander coming in with the iPad chat. Do I think it's good to invest in Doge long term? Personally, I do. Yes, I'm investing in Doge long term. I'm holding, and I will sit through the dips and wait them out at this point. At first, I was doing some trading with Doge. Now, though, it's no longer worth it tax-wise to do that. So I'm no longer doing trading. I'm now just holding for the long term. The hashtag Doge Retirement Fund. Think about how many young people are holding Doge until retirement. A lot. A very, very lot. So yes, I do like that long term. I'm calling Final Stand as the whale, calling it out to the community. I may be wrong to the moon. Oh, you think I'm the 25 billion whale? Oh my gosh, if I'm the 25 billion whale, then we're doing a big party where I'm just going to throw a bunch of money. I'm going to throw it everywhere. Well, if I'm the big whale, that's a good idea. I mean, seriously, I like that you think that, though. No, I'm not. I'm not the big Dogecoin whale. If I had 25 billion, I would at the very least, get an iPad Pro. I mean, of course. And the reason I just said that is because we have the Alexander Ortega chat coming in. 3 out of 6, Alex Dogecoin. He is helping the channel. He said if Dogecoin hits 50 cents, he's going to buy us an iPad Pro. So now he's doing that through the chats. So thank you so much, Alexander, coming in with that on your last tweet. Yes, I looked at that. I'm going to look more into it because I'm not entirely sure kind of where we're going with that. I mean, I'm going to keep watching your tweets. Definitely keep me updated on what you see there. What's up with the Robinhood wallets as well? Coming in from Devin. The Robinhood wallets, they're moving on it. It's going to take some time. To the moon Doge fam as well. But we're also seeing some other big stories around the entire cryptocurrency space. Take a look at this. Bitcoin will hit $1 million. Editor predicts 1 million. Think about the magnitude of that. I do not think this is true. And here is why I don't think that's true. Dogecoin, Ethereum, Cardano, other cryptocurrencies have way more of a use case than Bitcoin alone does. And as much as I want to see Bitcoin going up, as much as I like it, there's no way at this current point in time I'm going to be putting large amounts of money into Bitcoin when I have the ability to put large amounts of money into other cryptocurrencies along the way. $1,000 here, if I have it, why not put it into a Dogecoin, which has way more potential long term than Bitcoin does? So I do think we will eventually see, for Bitcoin to go to a 1 million thing, a 1 million market cap, we'd have to see it go up by approximately 20 or so times where it is, a little bit less than that. And so I do think we will see the entire market cap of cryptocurrency go up from around where it is now at around 2 trillion, all the way up to 10, 20 trillion. And a lot of that, though, is going to be absorbed by the altcoins. Dogecoin is going to have way more of a potential there than Bitcoin will to see a lot of that big growth. So I agree with the overall sentiment when it comes to crypto, but specifically with Bitcoin, I think that's definitely a little bit too optimistic. Speaking of being optimistic, I'm very optimistic about this water. This video is sponsored by water. Do you like to drink stuff? Do you like to consume things that make your mouth feel good and make your belly feel better? Do you want to be alive? Do you want to not have to do you want to stay breathing, basically? Do you like that? If you do, then check out water. It's a great investment long term. You should drink it every single day because it's beautiful. And if you're interested, you can go to tap.com and you can check out water. There's lots of it available. It's relatively cheap. You know, it's not expensive. You can get a lot of water for a very, very low price. And then when water 10x's, when water 20x's, you're going to be in the H2O profits right there. H2O, my favorite cryptocurrency of all. It's the best one. Everyone uses it. It has the biggest use case ever. Someone said Safe Moon. Maybe we'll talk about that a little bit later on the show. I mean, it's down so much from where it was. I don't want to kick it while it's down. I hope it goes up. We'll talk about it maybe a little bit. Oh, that's nice. So we're seeing more charities starting to accept Dogecoin. I like the sound of that from Jeremy. That's definitely a positive thing. You don't actually own the Bitcoin on PayPal. That's true, not just with PayPal, but with other exchanges as well. Just a reminder, you don't really own it, but typically speaking, they do buy it the more that people buy it there. So in a way, you kind of own it because you own it through them, but you don't own it directly. And so it's just something to keep in mind if you're ever wondering, do you own it? Ethereum Classic, though, has been going up an insane amount, a little bit of a dip from its high at around 180. I sold a little bit and took some profits when it was up high. I bought a bunch at $9. I bought around 250 Ethereum Classic at $9. And I should have made it the crypto of the week. The only reason I didn't is because that was the Dogecoin week. I was going to make it, and Dogecoin has been doing about as well as Ethereum Classic. They've both been doing insanely well lately. And so I had to pick Dogecoin that week because it just looked like it was about to go crazy. Dogecoin was at 7 cents that week. And so I was going to pick Ethereum Classic if Dogecoin didn't have that big announcement coming. And so I'm sorry for everyone part of the Patreon. I know I should have picked it. We were going to, but we ended up not doing it. And that's something I regret because I really, really like Ethereum Classic. I still like it. At this current point in time, I'm still not selling Ethereum Classic because I like its potential long term. I sold some, but I'm not selling all of it. Mark Cuban, 3 ways Ethereum dwarfs Bitcoin. Basically, he's talking in this about its functionality as a currency. Dogecoin needs to be included in that too. Mark Cuban knows that though. He knows. He was just specifically talking about Ethereum in that case right there. Right now we're seeing, so Dogecoin now at around 5.2, meaning, so it has continued throughout the entire day to drop to some degree. What that's saying is that a lot of people are expecting Dogecoin to end up going down on Saturday. And if everyone's expecting it, it's probably not going to happen because then people will just sell ahead of time, which is what's happening right now. So now, based on what we're seeing now, I think the chances are increasingly getting higher and higher that we could actually see a bit of a bump on Saturday. At first, it was looking a little bit gloomy. At first, it was looking like we were likely going to see the downfall happen. And if the downfall happens in a single day, it's much better to spread it out. Because if it starts to happen fast, a lot of the new people are going to panic sell, which is exactly what we don't want. But because it's happening slowly, I think that's the most ideal scenario. It decreases the chances of a big crash. It decreases the chances of something crazy happening and increases the chances of some positivity and some extra money being put into Dogecoin on that day. I mean, only 10 million people watching in comparison to the total amount that hold is not necessarily going to cause any too crazy thing. What will likely cause a crazy thing is Mars. The Mars Dogecoin connection, the moon landing with Dogecoin. Those are the two things that will have so many more viewers than SNL. That's not even close to close. If we want to talk major Dogecoin spikes, that's what we should be looking at, not SNL. Even though SNL is going to be exciting and also a little bit terrifying. I mean, it's both. It's exciting and terrifying at the same time if you are going to hold your Dogecoin through it like I am. I'm not going to sell mine. Even if it starts to go down some, I'm going to look at that as an opportunity to probably buy even more right now because we know the major big catalysts are still coming. This is just a small catalyst in comparison to what we have the ability to do with Dogecoin through Elon Musk particularly, but not just through him, through our community as well. By pressing like and sharing on social media, we have the ability to get the word out more and more and more. I'm a long-term holder in water. Me too. I'm long on water. I think water is absolutely going to go to the earth. I expect at some point in time, we will see approximately 70% of the Earth's surface using water. Oh, wait a sec. It's already happening. Oh my gosh. We should take water to Mars. That's a good idea. Let's put some H2O on the surface of Mars. Elon, help us out. We want to see H2O going to the moon and to Mars. H2O to the moon. That's a good idea. Our new favorite crypto, H2O. Dogecoin, you had your chance. I'm sorry, I can't drink your Dogecoin. You need to have more functionality, as all the people on the news are saying. Dogecoin, you're just a joke, right? Of course not. We know that's not true. We know Dogecoin's a legitimately great cryptocurrency, despite what the news is going to try to tell us, despite what the people in the institutional power positions want us to believe. Dogecoin is a great cryptocurrency, and we are all aware of that. But you know what? There's been some drama around the SNL episode, some drama, which is good, I guess, because it gets more attention to it. But we have seen E.T. Canada. This girl went on and basically made fun of Elon Musk's face for absolutely no reason. She's just being a hater. And to you, I say, why hate? Just have love. Don't hate. Stop it. It's not okay. But you know what? The good thing is, no one really cares what she thinks. Not to be too mean, but I mean, it's true. Like, why? She doesn't have an actual legitimate opinion on this. All she's doing is basically trashing Elon based on his looks. And we don't do look-based insults here on the channel, unless it's Jeff Bezos. He's the one exception. But besides that, we don't do look-based insults, because if you are resorting to look-based insults, that means you don't have the ability to come up with a good insult. And she didn't. She couldn't insult him on anything that was actually worth insulting on. If you want to do that, you actually have to come up with a reason to. I love Elon too, Sadia. Sadia says Sadia says he's daddy. Elon, is he daddy? I don't know. That's a good question. That's one that we have to get the scientists to go look into. Is Elon daddy? Someone needs to get the answer to that. I want a concrete answer. I want facts. I want numbers. The statistics behind if Elon is daddy or not. We need to know the answer. But another celebrity hating on him. So we saw Andrew Dismukes. More like Andrew Dis is terrible, because he basically said the only CEO I want to do a sketch with is Chair E. I mean, what? Why? You don't want to do a sketch with Elon Musk? You're telling me you have an opportunity to meet Elon Musk and do a sketch with him, and you're passing it up. Some of these SNL actors are such... I can't even use the word on YouTube. And it's probably not the word you're thinking of. It's a different word. I can't use the word. I'm not going to use it. But some of these SNL actors, they are not even willing to be in the same room as Elon. That's how much they have problems. They can't be in the same room as him. Who did this to you? What happened to you when you were younger? Something bad must have happened. I know you're a famous celebrity or whatever. I don't even know who this person is, to be honest, really. I mean, I don't know. Who's this? Who's Andrew Dismukes? I mean, I've seen him before. I don't really know who he is, though. Then he wasn't the only one, though. We also saw more. Someone named Faye Dunaway. I know kind of him, but not really. He basically just made fun of Elon's post a little bit, basically saying, what does it mean? Just throwing a little bit of shade. I mean, it's unnecessary. We will give some credit, though, to Pete Davidson. Pete Davidson came on and said, wait, why is there controversy around this? You mean that man, Elon Musk, who just makes the world a better place and sends people to Mars and talks about Dogecoin? You mean that, Elon? Why do people have a problem with this? So Pete Davidson coming in clutch. Most of the stars have that same sentiment. If you don't know, and you probably don't, because it just came out the news, the stars of SNL, the cast, went with Elon Musk to a dinner that happened tonight. And during the dinner, they talked a lot. They ended up having the guy who's mainly behind SNL paying for the whole thing, which is funny, because you'd think maybe Elon would pay for it. But, I mean, hey, both of them have enough money to easily pay for an entire dinner. Pete Davidson even made a joke saying, sometimes he thinks about paying for it, but it's way too expensive. So wherever the heck they go for dinner, it must be unbelievably expensive. We're talking probably a few thousand per person to just eat there. I don't know, is it that much? Maybe not that much. Maybe like 500 a person. They probably have a lot of people, though, so that ends up adding up big time. You can either buy a Ferrari, or you can take SNL cast to dinner. Which one do you pick? Do you want a Ferrari, or do you want one dinner with the SNL cast? I think it's pretty obvious there. But Elon, it's going to be fun to watch him on there, regardless of what happens with Dogecoin. And of course, we're going to be watching it. I'm probably going to go live during the SNL skit so we can talk through what's happening with Doge during the actual skit itself. If it starts to fall, we'll talk through what's happening. We'll try to look for an opportunity to see a potential buy-in for a lot of people, which could cause the spike to continue going on. All of the attention around it is a very positive thing. And we do have to remember as well, Dogecoin has gone up a lot. It's gone up an insane amount. And dips are definitely a normal part of that. But every single point along the way, when it goes down, people look at that and say, okay, well, it dipped. It'll never go back up again. Then what happens? Every single time so far, it's gone back up after dipping. Every single time. Without exception, with Dogecoin, it's gone back up. And so if you look at the historical patterns, you have reason to be confident in Dogecoin. You have reason to hope that it does well and to expect it to outperform what a lot of the haters are thinking it's going to do. Very possibly could spike a little bit on that day. Meek Mill bought 50k Doge. That's right. Meek Mill did buy 50k Doge. CoinMarketCap. Oh, dang. Yeah, CoinMarketCap has it. That's interesting. I think someone said SafeMoon's booming. It went up a little bit. It did go up a little bit. I think it went up from around 4 to around 6. And it has so many zeros, I don't even know how to pronounce that. I mean, you have to just say 0.000006. SafeMoon will never be a currency. It can be used as a store of value, though. So that's where it does have a room to maybe slide in if it can compete with Bitcoin. So we'll maybe talk about it. We'll stay up to date on it a little bit. Especially, if people want to leave chats on it, then we got to talk about it. We don't really have a choice. We have to talk about it. That's just the way that it is. And so we will. I don't mind talking about it. I like the idea of having multiple cryptocurrencies in a portfolio. And if SafeMoon is one of them for you, then I'm hoping that it does go up. The more people that have SafeMoon in the community, the higher the chances are that I want to see it going up. Just so all of us don't lose our money. The last thing I want to see is people in our community losing money. I want to see us making money. Also, welcome to Steven joining on the Patreon. You're going to love it. I'll send you a link to join the Discord shortly. You're going to like it. You're going to love it. Like it and love it. Both of those. That's two things. You know what I can say? I can definitively say. The Patreon is way better than mosquitoes. Definitively. That's not even a debate. It's way better than mosquitoes. So if you want something better than mosquitoes, you're welcome to check out the Patreon. Why the heck would you want to be going outside when it's mosquito season? I don't know. I guess if you have to be outside, you have to be outside. Dogecoin's 12,000% rally. And keep in mind, we bought in before that. A lot of us did here in the community. We've been talking about it since before a lot of this massive rally has caused people to now be looking for the next crypto winner. If you want to see the next crypto winner, we're going to talk about it more on the show, so make sure you're subscribing with notifications on. We're going to try to pick some of the best picks in the world. The Patreon's a great resource for that. We'll also talk about that some here on the show. So it'll be a combination of both those things. But Resorts World in Las Vegas announces cryptocurrency partnership. More and more big resorts, big companies, big travel companies especially, starting to get into the cryptocurrency space. As that happens, we're going to see some big changes in the world. You're now going to be able to buy cryptocurrency pretty much everywhere. You're going to be able to use it, pretty much everywhere. And that's going to be a massive, massive change. It's going to shock the system a little bit at first, but once the system kind of starts to adapt and deal with it, that's when the real sweet spot for cryptocurrency is going to come. That's when the real opportunity for cryptocurrency to take over is going to hop into place. Let me read a couple of these chats here real quick. Hey bro, love the channel. Our Dogecoin community. Where do you see Doge in 5 years in terms of price? I think $5 in 5 years is definitely on the table without even seeing some of the catalysts that we're expecting, just with steady growth over time, with some catalysts here and there. But if the big catalysts hop into place, then we could see it going even higher than that. That would be approximately a 10x from where it is now. And we could have a 10x look tiny in 10 years, 15 years from now. So it's important to think long term. Is Dogecoin your retirement fund? If so, then think long term. Don't ever panic anything. Don't panic buy, don't panic sell. Think first. Anytime you're going to do either of those things, make sure to always wait an extra 5 minutes first before you actually do it. I invested in Matt's YouTube channel, 20k subscribers, now up almost 180k subscribers. Dude, that's huge. What did you 9x'd? You 9x'd on Matt's YouTube channel. I like the sound of that. Would you do a personal consult? Yeah, sure. Why not? I mean, we can definitely do that. Time for your YouTube. Dude, I like the sound of that. Yeah, Ethereum Classic's been doing crazy lately. I bought it at $9, like I said, and it's just been doing so well. But anyway, I'm Matt Wass. This is Final Stand, and I will see you. Actually, no, I'm just kidding. I'm not ending it yet. I actually want to read a couple more of these chats real quick. We'll end it in a second. I was gonna end it, but I was like, wait a sec. No, I don't want to end it yet. I'm not done yet. I got more to talk about. I mean, there's a couple more stories I was gonna cover, but then I was like, wait, should I cover them? I mean, they're kind of. So we had this little mook saying he recorded a song called Dogecoin to the Moon. I mean, I was gonna cover that. I guess we'll cover it now. I mean, that's kind of cool. Nothing too crazy. I think the David Spade thing is obviously the biggest celebrity in the last 24 hours talking about Doge. I mean, that's huge right there. That's definitely big. David is one of my favorite celebrities to listen to in terms of what he talks about. And so if we do see something like that happening, with him starting to really embrace Dogecoin more, he has a big platform, and he's going to be able to make some cool things happen with that. But so Idaho, if you want to do a personal consult, I haven't done that before, but we can definitely, if you wanted me to help you go through your cryptocurrency portfolio, look at some of the things you're investing in, and maybe we can talk about what is the highest chance of going up or the highest chance of looking good long term. We can definitely do that. Also, I can maybe show you some good long-term investments, some good things to look at in terms of making a steady return percentage-wise. Set a limit by tomorrow for 3.8. Thank me later. I don't think 3.8 is a realistic expectation for tomorrow. That's definitely a little bit of a bigger dip than I'm expecting if we do see the dip to happen. I mean, it's not impossible, but we do have to remember, a lot of this spike was not just caused by the SNL news. A lot of this spike was actually caused by other things, other non-SNL news things. Will Tron go? We'll see. Matt Wallace prepared for BitBoy Crypto. That's right, we're going on BitBoy Crypto soon. We're going after that number 2 spot. Yes, we are. BitBoy Crypto, we're coming for number 2. And maybe number 1 one day if BitBoy Crypto retires or if the channel just goes crazy. Maybe number 1. We'll see. But yeah, I'm going to be going on his show soon. I'm going to be going on tomorrow. I'm not sure when I think it's going to air on Saturday, I'm pretty sure. So if you want to see me on that, you're welcome to do so. But now the show is actually really ending. I'm Matt Wallace. This is Final Stand, and I will see you in the next video.